Many of the Arab nations are secretly hoping that Israel will win. That's the claim that's made over here by Mark Levin and Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, of what's actually going on behind the scenes. Why don't you check this out, and then we'll talk about it. But before you look at it, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. It really helps us out. Watch this.
Am I right or wrong that a lot of the Arab nations are rooting for Israel? That is, they want nothing to do with Iran. They want nothing to do with Iran's surrogates. They want nothing to do, honestly, taking Palestinians. But I noticed when the fighting began and everything, they didn't join in to help Iran or Hezbollah or anybody else for that matter. I don't want you to reveal anything that's secret, obviously, but I get the feeling that a lot of these countries are rooting for you, no?
You know, what is said publicly and what is said privately are two different things, obviously. But they understand. Look, I've noticed this change already before the Abraham Accords. I mean, I saw that the Arab world had undergone a fundamental change. They recognize that their enemy is not Israel, but Israel is really their ally against their real enemy, which is Iran and its various proxies. They get it. I mean, they got it. That's how we got the Abraham Accords. We just needed somebody to broker it, finish the job, which is what President Trump did. And it's the same thing now. You know, they understand that the threat is Iran and its proxies, much wounded, much diminished, some of them decimated, but the equation hasn't changed. But of course, I won't quote this or that leader. I'll give them their space for deniability.
You know, you mentioned civilian casualties. We've had expert after expert, John Spencer, the man from West Point, who's an expert on these issues. The Israeli military has done more than any military in the history record keeping to protect civilians of an enemy country or enemy entity. And yet they keep that propaganda going. Hamas does, the New York Times uses it, CNN uses it, they use it all over the world. I mean, that's got to be so frustrating because I think this helps drive the anti-Semitism, no?
You're absolutely right, and it's a web of lies. For example, they declared me in this kangaroo court called the ICC. They declared me a war criminal, right? And what am I charged with? That we deliberately starved the population of Gaza, right? Which is completely false. I mean, we gave instructions early on, not only to get them out of harm's way, but also to supply humanitarian supplies like food, water, whatever. But here's the thing. We took thousands of Palestinian Hamas prisoners, okay? You know what the first thing you do when you take a prisoner, a Palestinian Hamas prisoner? You want to make sure that he doesn't have an explosive belt on his, suicide belt, okay? So you ask them to take their shirts off. So now we have photos of thousands of these prisoners who have, without their shirt. And you will not find not one emaciated. In fact, you'll find quite a few who are overweight because they eat, because there's no starvation. And also they don't exercise, you don't get much exercise in the tunnels, right? In these terror tunnels that they built. So this is completely false. It's outrageous. I mean, these charges in the press are outrageous, and when they come from the International Criminal Court, it's outrageous, not only because they compare Israel, a democratic country which has the highest standards of fighting a just war with just means, and they compare us to this monstrous terrorist organization of Hamas. It's not only because of that. It's outrageous because the charges are false. So you've got this assault coming in from lawfare on the one side, international lawfare, on the other side, international media, American media. It's outrageous. I just met with a group of leading American journalists, and I said, it's your job to get to the facts. You can't buy this nonsense.
What do you think? We'd love to hear your comments in the comments below. And if you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. Have a wonderful